Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Yeah, not my choice, but I went with it. We were Toy Story family, so I bit the bullet. But it was fun. It was cool.
I was going to say, is that costume looked like it was a pretty full body?
Yeah, it was supposed to inflate, had a little hole in it, so it didn't really inflate as well as it should have. But really, everybody else's costume was great, so that's all that mattered. So.
Did you see quite a bit of Matt Patricia costumes out there?
Saw a couple of Matt Patricias floating around for sure. Yeah, a bunch of them out there.
Did you see any Matthew Staffords?
Yep, get a decent amount of those that show up to the door. So,
What's that like?
it's fun. It's cool. You know, they're usually pretty excited, and you know, take a picture, do the thing, whatever it is. So it's cool.
Do they know or they not been?
I mean, I think they do. More often than not, yes.
Has there ever been a time where they don't realize that it's your house and they walk up and like, what the?
I can't remember. I feel like everybody's pretty locked in, but maybe once or twice, yeah.
I just remember that Pepsi commercial you did a few years ago. So I was wondering if it was similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They're more aware of where they are, I guess, nowadays.
Did anybody stop by dressed as Daniil Hunter, or are you only seeing him on tape?
No, just on tape.
What are you seeing?
You know, he's a big, long, physical, fast, really developed himself into a really good player. You know, their entire defense is extremely talented. Got a bunch of high draft picks, some big-time free agent guys they've signed, whatever it is. They've done a really nice job, obviously. They have a really tough scheme. They're tops in the league in a bunch of categories every year, and this year's no different.
Griffin on the other side is a guy you've certainly seen more than you care to. What is having him back? And just, is there ever a guy you feel like he's got your number in some respects?
Oh, no, guy's just a great energy guy for them. You know, I think he plays with a ton of passion, a bunch of, you know, heart. I mean, he's got an incredible motor when you watch the tape. I mean, the guy's hustling after everything, and I think kind of sets the tone for those guys. That's the way they all play. When he's out there, it's just another one of those guys that's running the ball no matter where it is and making big plays. So it's a huge test for us, especially going to their place. Really tough road environment. You know, but it's a big challenge, and we enjoy it.
You haven't played a game without Golden since 2013. What's that dynamic been like for you this spring?
You know, I think, you know, the biggest thing for me is just moving forward what we got, you know, and that's all I can do. I try to go out there and prepare each week, whether somebody's hurt or somebody's traded, whatever it is, not available to play that week. All right, let's go be successful with what we got. And, you know, this week is no different, you know, from that standpoint.
The first time you've lost a significant weapon, is there anything you take from Calvin Johnson leaving to this experience and to moving on without Golden Tate?
I think the biggest thing is just go play my game. Go out there and execute, throw the ball to, where the defense is telling you it needs to go, and the guys that are getting open and winning. So, this week, rest of the season will be no different. We got to have some guys step up. They know that. I got a bunch of confidence in those guys. I know everybody in our locker room's got a bunch of confidence in those guys. Our coaches do too. So we're just gonna, move forward with that attitude and that game plan. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what can TJ and Brandon give you in the slot? What have you seen from those?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've played a decent amount of football with TJ too. Brandon not as much, but TJ's a savvy guy. He's got a lot of great feel. He's a smart guy. He's a good blocker. Does everything you'd want, in a receiver. So, I think he and BP, give us a really good element inside.
It is about throwing to who's open, what the defense gives you. But Golden was such a security blanket, especially third downs and some of those things. So how do you sort of develop that chemistry with other guys in a short period of time, or how do you, who replaces that? I guess who do you turn to replace him?
Yeah, I think everybody. I don't think it's a one man's job to step in. Just like you were talking about earlier, losing Calvin, it wasn't one person's job to come in here and try and duplicate what he does. Golden was a really good player for us, a really good friend of mine, the whole thing, right? Like, got a ton of respect for him. I know the Eagles are getting a good player. Wish him the best. But at the same time, I think it's just on everybody. We've got a lot of weapons. Still have a ton of guys on offense that can make big plays for us. They do it probably a different way than he did it, but I still think we can be very successful in what we want to do.
How is Harrison Smith disruptive in that secondary?
Any way you can think. I mean, he's really good when the ball's in the air. I think he makes good plays on the football. He's a really smart, instinctive player. You can tell he's watching tape, trying to make it hard on opposing quarterbacks. I think he trusts himself a lot, with his ability to cover ground and his ability to, show one thing and do another. But I think, a really intelligent player. And then obviously when he's playing the run from the backside or at the point of attack or blitzing, he's extremely physical and fast. So everything you really want in a safety.
How do you find out about a move like that?
Was actually in the building, so word got passed around here pretty quick. I was doing having some meetings and stuff, so I was in the building when it happened. So I heard, I don't remember, just through people around here.
Bob or Matt, they don't come to you and hey man, we might be getting rid of one of your favorite targets.
No, there wasn't any like beforehand stuff. Talked to him obviously after the fact, but nothing beforehand.
You would expect, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, they're going to do what they think is best for the team. It's not my decision to see who stays, who goes. It's not my job, and I understand that, and I think they know that and respect that too. So it's just let them do their job, and I'll deal with whatever comes.
What was your initial first second reaction when you heard it though? I mean, was there any sort of?
I mean, always, first of all, this trade deadline was as crazy as anyone I've ever been a part of, so it was just really the tip of the iceberg. It was all kind of surprising when you looked around the league and we're like, man, all these moves are going on. So sometimes those trade deadlines are really quiet and sometimes they're not. This year they weren't, we obviously made one of those moves. So you deal with it and you move forward and play good football.
I know you're focused on the Vikings here, but what do you think? This upcoming stretch will tell you about you guys, your value, your ability to contend for the playoffs. You got 2 road games coming up, a really difficult 5-game stretch. So
yeah,
get out of this stretch here.
Yeah, I know you hate hearing it, but we got to take it one at a time. I mean, we can't look at the big picture of all of it for sure, but this week starting off a lot of big challenges. Really every week in the NFL, as we know, is a huge challenge. Going on the road in the division. I like to say division games count for 2. You get the win and they get the loss. It's, they're big games. And the more you can go and win those, whether on the road or at your place, the better. We got a big stretch of them coming up, and hopefully, we'll win, more than we lose, and it'll be a good situation for us.
That's typically a difficult place to play. You guys are 2-0 there. Mm-hmm. Just your thoughts on that stadium, that place, that atmosphere.
I honestly, I think it takes everybody. It takes a full team performance. You can't go in there and say, man, we're just going to go dominate and score 45 on offense, and it won't matter what our defense does in special teams. Or you can't go out there and say we're just going to hold their offense to 3. If you guys can go get 2 field goals, we'll win. It takes everybody. When you look at those wins, there's been big plays by all phases of the game, whether it's Prater's 58-yard field goal to send us into overtime, or it's turnovers by our defense last year, whatever it is, it's everybody. So you got to go in there, pack your lunch pail and say it's going to be, all of us together getting this thing done. And that's the attitude we've had this week. I've, liked the way we've come out the first 2 days, got another big day tomorrow at practice. But, I think we understand that it's going to take all three phases of our team.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matthew.